necessary. But one thing I would like to put out and have on for, maybe as an action item if we agree about it for the next committee of the whole in a couple of weeks is this. I think branch pickup is very important to our city. We have a very mature neighborhood, we have very old trees, and branches are a real issue. Now currently we have the ability to, under the waste management contract, to bundle those branches up if we cut them down into 40 inches long, and but anybody who does this knows it's a colossal pain in the neck, and it's just very difficult. We have the equipment, we have the chipper, and while in the past we used to send it out, one of the struggles that we had was, the guys were out there 5 days a week, and it was almost a full-time job just chipping. So, talking with Joe and Ben and actually Alderman Turner, we had a discussion about this. We were talking about maybe if we can put some parameters on the chipper, we can still send it out, still use it, and kind of alleviate some of the problems that we have with this, bundling branches. So what we'd like to suggest, and Joe, if you can work this out for the next meeting, is, maybe we do something like the first Monday in May and the first Monday in September. That's the week that everybody in the city knows the chipper's going to go out that week. So if you do all that work on that weekend before, that's going to be the big branch pickup. And we'll make sure that we announce it, we'll make sure we put it on the website, newsletters, that those are the dates. So if you're going to do any big work, those are the weekends. The other thing, we suggest is we still do the branch pickup after storms. We'll continue to do that as well. We still have the contract with Waste Management, so we should have no problem if people want to bundle branches in between. If they have small jobs, that's good. The one, we just don't want to get in that place where people abuse it, and so this isn't about somebody taking down a tree. If you're going to take down a tree, we expect you to hire a tree service to get rid of, that stuff. This is for, brush cleanup and typical branch, just maintenance that you have in your yard. And then lastly, I still think that this ordinance that we're going to vote on and 7:30 or so is that it's still important to have some teeth. I don't want people to put their branches out in June and say, well, they're coming in September. So it's a matter of keeping the city tidy and not, looking shabby. So I think hopefully if we do something like this, we can kind of we get the best of all worlds here. So if that's something that anybody feels strongly against, or otherwise, I'd like to propose that we put something like that on the consent agenda. Any discussion?
I agree with that wholeheartedly, Mayor. We did talk earlier, and we also have the ability for $2 a month to get large waste barrels, and so small scrub and stuff can be thrown in that, and I do that on a regular basis, but what we're talking about is the big stuff. But there are people that abuse it, and the city is not going to partner with them, and if they're a landscaper, they decide that all of a sudden the city is their partner. That's not really where we want to be. We just want to be for the large stuff and go through it like I said.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Anybody else have any thoughts? All right, otherwise, if that's the case, I'd like to put it on the consent agenda if everyone's good with that. Yeah, thanks.
Do you want the city council consent agenda this evening?
Yeah, we'll put it, I don't think you can do that. I think you have to have it filed 2 weeks from now, yeah. Okay, looks like we'll skip down to, Pam. Pam, what do you got?
Yes. As the council may recall, last month, staff had mentioned that we had received a request from the Iron Horse Saloon to conduct several outdoor activities this summer. One of them, which is something that the community is familiar with, was their derby event and their Ride Janie Ride. And then they were also looking to do a summer concert series in conjunction with this business. Because of the additional requests and the sensitivity of adjacent residential, staff started to evaluate whether or not the city had any kind of review process or permitting process for these types of events, and found that we don't. We do have a process for block parties, but we didn't address what happens when businesses wanted to conduct promotional and a variety of events. So since that time, collaboratively, staff has been working with the city attorney. We have crafted, for lack of a better term, a policy or some standards, which we will be bringing to the city council at the next committee of the whole for discussion. We're on draft 5, so we've put a lot of discussion and a lot of talking to it. In the meantime, as we were formulating this document, we've also been approached by several other businesses and groups to conduct other types of activities as well. So we realized, that there's a lot of events out there, and though they may be, sponsored for a charity, and they have all the good intentions, we still have to make sure that we have some kind of parameters and formal permitting process to make sure that things don't get out of control. In addition to that, in the past, as you're aware, the applicants would basically come before the council and ask permission to do so. What we're looking to do is kind of eliminate that necessity and make it an internal process where various staff actually would review the permit. So the police would have a chance, fire district would have a chance, planning and zoning, building, all the different disciplines that really need to take a look at these events to make sure that they're conducted appropriately and safely for the people who will be attending them. So, as I said, next committee of the whole meeting, you will have a draft version, at least a foundation to start with, in terms of the direction we're kind of looking to go. It also includes a very detailed application, which asks all sorts of questions about different kinds of things that can occur as part of these different types of outdoor activities. There will be definitions. And it's going to be, as we move forward with this, and we've talked about this today at our last meeting to formulate the final draft, it's going to be some interpretation, getting used to it. There are certain businesses or entities, just by the nature of who they are and what they do, that some of their outdoor events are just part of their operations. So it wouldn't necessarily fall under the parameters of what this permitting process would entail. But that's where we're really at with that, and we hope to have some really good dialogue next time and get feedback from the council in terms of the direction they want to go with this.
Any questions? All right, thanks, Pam, appreciate it. I like special events are important to where we're going, and I thank you for, kind of consolidating it, making it easier and streamlined, so I think it's important. All right, we'll move on to, Joe, you got something?
I'm pretty loud, but I'll go to the podium here anyhow. Just a brief summary of kind of our call-out for snow. Just wanted the council to be aware. Actually, we were out a total of 44 times this year. That's just, it's very brief. It just tells you the times and dates that we were out. By comparison, so you know, I believe we had over 83 inches of snow. Last year we had 10. Last year we were out 10 times. We plowed 3 times. This year we were out 44 times. So I guess I want everybody to understand as we go forward and budget for salt and things like that, we can't say we had 10 inches last year so we can cut the budget, or we would have been in drastic trouble this year. But I just want everybody to be aware that we're out that much. And yes, Eric's very upset with me. Most of it was on the weekend, but I had nothing to do with that. So.
I just want to commend Joe, you and the entire team. It was one really tough weekend where I think I got a couple of complaints, and I reached out, and sometimes when you get 12 inches of snow, it's not always going to be easy to drive down your street. I think that's understandable, but the response and the rest of the season was absolutely fantastic from the entire team, and frankly, I drive pretty far every day to and from work, and you could always tell when you got into Lockport, things got a whole lot better than almost all the communities I drove through. So I know it's a lot of effort. And reading through this, guys are getting called out at 1:45, 3 a.m. It's not easy for anybody involved. I don't know how many times I saw Junior driving down my street when I was out plowing. But the effort was fantastic, and you guys really did a great job this one.
Thank you.
Yeah, I too would like to echo a few of those words, as Jason said. We look at these numbers and the dates and all that, it doesn't really put in perspective, Joe, I somewhat know what you go through. There's a lot of work here involved. There's no doubt about that. It takes to be an organized person like our Public Works Director, Joe Finley, is, to make all this stuff happen. It's not that easy, and I know Joe works hard at it too. And you're right, he does take the complaints. I've called Joe. Joe handles them. he's right on top of it, and he settles those complaints and issues. So thanks, Joe, for all that you do. But again, and it goes to the truck drivers too. We have the turnaround they have, the getting up early in the morning, working in the cold conditions. There's some safety hazards involved in plowing snow, and I think they did an excellent job this year. So I too want to thank everybody for that.
I have a question for Joe. It's kind of related. I've had a couple of people wanting to know when the street sweepers can be out to clean up the streets.
Actually, we were out in Kelvin Grove today. We started today. We have to be careful when we put it out because the water that keeps dust down, it'll freeze if it's too cold. We were in Kelvin Grove today. We'll start sweeping our downtown routes again on Thursday night on straight time. We'll move forward from there and go through the whole town. We're in Kelvin Grove now. Typically, we'll do Kelvin Grove. We'll work from the south end all the way to the north end, and we try to get through the whole town, each subdivision, at least twice a year. So in the spring and fall.
Thank you.
I want to say something about the snow removal. I didn't get any complaints. I got people that said that the city was doing a great job and that they were out and all the time when it was needed, and when they turned the key in the morning, they left, which is one of the best things the city can do. So, in other words, the people left, not the city. So the streets were clear, and they really did do a great job, and as always.
Just one shot.
Anything else? All right, Joe, thanks.
Mayor, we did skip over the monthly
Oh, you're right.
meeting calendar for 2014.
Yeah, just items recommended for action at the next council meeting, thanks Alice, is the May 2014 monthly meeting calendar. Anybody have any questions about it?
Do we want to add the clean sweep? I think, isn't that in May usually? Or am I off?
Oh, it's in
It
May.
is in May.
17.
Oh, then yeah.
Oh, yeah, we have to have that on there.
All right, we'll add it on there, please.
Thank you.
All right, I guess that's everything. Anybody got anything for new business?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up, I think Jason sent out an email about it, and great work doing that with Muckfest. I don't know if you wanted to say something about it.
Oh, yeah, please, that's a great thing,
I didn't
yeah.
want to jump the gun because I think there's a few things being worked out, but I got in contact with basically an event planner who helps host Muckfest, which is like a mud obstacle course similar to a Warrior Dash, if you've heard of that, it's one of the most popular ones. They're going to be holding their event in August 23rd, I believe the date is, late August, in Lockport at Legacy Paintball. It's a great event. It benefits MS, and frankly, we were mentioned earlier about festivals are trying to bring people to Lockport. Their goal for year one is to bring 3,000 people to Lockport. This is a smaller than the Warrior Dash and things you've heard of. They do about a dozen cities. This will be their first year in the Chicago area. But it's an awesome event. I've been chatting with them on and off for a little while now, and I couldn't be happier for them to be coming to Lockport. There's still some details being worked out with the city, but should be a great event and for a great cause.
Yeah, I signed up for it already, and I have a team for my law firm. So I'll get more people out from the west suburbs and everything.
We get to shoot lawyers?
Yeah.
I have the water.
No, it's super fast. No, you get to drown them in the mud.
To go along with that, I was out somewhere and there was a website for that and it said Chicago. And when you click on it, it takes you right to Lockport. So
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of neat, Yeah.
Yeah, great job, Jason, thanks for staying on that, that's going to be another good addition. Thanks. All right, anything else?
I just wanted to remind everyone, I did send everyone an email about attending, if you want to. The Diocese of Joliet is having their open house tomorrow from 2 to 6 o'clock. So everyone is welcome to attend to check out the new facility there. It'll be a really nice event. They are going to have food and whatnot. It's open to the public, so anyone can attend.
Well, by the way, our ad campaign is really going forward. We've got, we've had, our full pages in West Suburban Living. We started doing our digital ad campaign, which is all, it goes from Wisconsin down to Indiana, everything from, WLS's websites, every kind of, web outlet that's out there that has advertising. We've got our stuff on there. In fact, next time I come here, I'll bring some of the creative that we made so we can all see it. But then today, we're talking about the couple of digital billboards. So really promoting the things that we're doing, and whether it's Muckfest or Summer Art Series or Old Canal Day, so that's looking good. And I was talking to Allison Ford today. She's the Water Reclamation District head honcho over there, because they're going to open up the hydraulic power plant for Old Canal Day, so she's excited about, they're going to have a shuttle that brings people from the Heritage Village on that Saturday over to the power plant. If you've never been there, it's very cool, you need to check it out. It's very rare that they open it up, so we're fortunate.
For those that have never seen that, you'd be amazed.
Yeah, they have this like machine shop that's all belt driven. Pull a lever and the lathe starts turning with this, big belt, so it's very interesting. So, yeah, I'll remember, I'll bring some creative next time. Okay. I guess we'll move on. So can I have a motion to adjourn the committee of the whole?
So moved.
Second.
All right. Did you get that, Alice?
Yes, I did, thank you.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Well, officially, I believe we have to wait till 7:30, so why don't we just take 5 minutes, we'll come back at 7:30 for voting. Sounds good. Thanks.
I'm swirling.
Coretta?
Yes, here.
Marinowski? Here. Vandermeer?
Here.
Deskin?
Here.
Turner?
Here.
Smith?
Here.
Colon? And Capadona.
Here.
7 present.
All right, thanks. Can I have a motion to have a consent agenda tonight? So moved. Alderman Turner, seconded by Alderman Coretta. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, on consent, we have the regular city council meeting minutes from March 19th. We have the committee of the whole meeting minutes from March 19th. We have ordinance number 14011, which is the administrative ticket for garbage ordinance that we had talked about. And then there's the retail economic development plan with the retail coach, 14030. Can I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Alderman Vandermeer, seconded by Alderman Deskin. All in favor?
Aye.
We should take a roll
You
call.
want to do roll call, because of the money on the one? Roll call, please.
Coretta?
Yes.
Marinowski?
Yes.
Vandermeer?
Yes.
Deskin?
Yes.
Turner?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Capadona.
Yes.
Can I ask a question? Should we have not put that on the consent agenda? Because generally we don't.
No, you can put anything on the consent agenda as long as you agree to it, and you just should take a roll, that's all. And technically, there is a case where you say all aye, and the judge construed that as he could hear individually the people, so it's, it's not really that terribly wrong.
Just keep it tidy, that's fine, we'll do roll calls. All right, so next is we're going to move to approval of the payroll.
Executive session?
So moved.
What, I'm still doing payroll on H.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, so we're going to do, we had a motion approved, was Chris said he made a motion, anybody second?
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Marinowski. Can I have a roll call, please?
Coretta?
Yes.
Marinowski?
Yes.
Vandermeer?
Yes.
Deskin?
Yes.
Turner?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Capadona.
Yes.
7 nays, motion carried.
All right. Alice, you want to make your motion?
Yes, thank you. Need an executive session, an approval of executive session meeting minutes from March 19, 2014 as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move down to Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm looking for a motion to approve the various bills as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Alderman Capadona, seconded by Alderman Vandermeer. Any discussion?
That's all there is, Scott.
That's it. Lighting. All right. You have a roll call for that?
Coretta?
Yes.
Marinowski?
Yes.
Vandermeer?
Yes.
Deskin?
Yes.
Turner?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Capadona.
Yes.
7 nays, motion carried.
Thanks. Chief?
Mayor, City Council, we learned recently that Lamont was discontinuing their K-9 program. So with that knowledge, we applied for a grant through the Citgo refinery for $12,500, which is about what it would cost to buy and train a dog. And I learned that the money was supposed to be deposited in our account today, and I didn't check, but I assume it's there, $12,500. So what we're asking for today, we have an intergovernmental agreement that Lamont has already been through Lamont City Council, trading their 2012 Chevy Tahoe, which is all set up for K-9, and $10,600 in equipment for a 2013 Ford SUV that we own. The equipment is kennels, bite suits, leashes, all the things you need for a K-9 program. They have everything. And just so happened that they're just retiring their dog. So what we're asking for today is that you approve the intergovernment agreement trading the two vehicles.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I want a motion to table this until the committee of the whole for the 16th. I think that this needs more discussion this was just brought and given to us as if it was a done deal. I did a little research on K-9 units. Pardon me, Chief, but you did forget to mention the $3,000 in addition. But that's not important. What's important is that for some reason, Lamont had discontinued their K-9 program. I think we need to know why. Does a city the size of Lockport really need a K-9 program? And it says, one of the things that I got from the United States Police K-9 Association, I have printed out, this about having a K-9 program, is one of the first steps in forming of a K-9 unit in a police department is to sell the citizens of the community on the need for a K-9 unit. Like I said, this is the first that I've heard of it, so it's not exactly been a discussion. We also need to know what the costs of having this will be for the citizens, because we pay the bills. And according to my calculations for our police budget for the coming 6 months is going to be 58% of our income. Now, I know how important a police unit is, but still that's a big chunk, and if we're adding more services, we need to know, if it's worth the cost, or even what the cost is. And then another highlight that I put was that the biggest drawback for small departments, which I'm assuming we pretty much are, is that the training will take about 14 weeks and is usually done in spring and summer when vacations are going on and it's hard to get somebody. Another thing is it's important that you have one handler and that the handler has all the equipment. According to this is not just a matter of getting a dog and sending a police officer out with it. So, and there's also insurance issues. The handler has to keep the dog and has to have, I know you mentioned that they have the kennel, so he would have the kennel. Record keeping, I think that as for due diligence, this council needs to know exactly what we'll be paying for and what it's going to cover and what benefits the city's going to get from it, rather than just bringing it to council for approval without any workshop.
Well, Denise made a motion to table it. Is there a second?
I'll second it for one reason, that normally there's no discussion during the table, but over the winter, I was mauled by a German Shepherd, and I found out that the average payout for a dog bite similar to that is about 30 grand. And if there are extenuating circumstances, the payouts go even higher. And so if that's the case, dogs can go nuts. And I imagine this is a German Shepherd that we're getting, not a killer Cocker Spaniel, so it might be interesting to know the stats on that. That's all. So.
All right, so a second by Alderman Turner. All in favor to table till further discussion?
Why don't we have a roll call?
Yeah, we'll do a roll call. We do a roll call?
Sure. Coretta?
No.
Marinowski?
Yes.
Vandermeer?
Yes.
Veskin?
No.
Turner?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Oh, he's not here, I'm sorry. Capadona?
No.
It's 4-3.
4-3, is a motion to table?
Motion to table, yes.
4-3? Mayor can vote.
Well, I'll just make it a tie. So it's 4-3 to table, so we'll table it.
Okay.
Yeah, so what we'll do is, let's go ahead and do that. Chief, you can bring this information to us, and so make everybody feel comfortable before we move forward on it. I find it an important thing myself, because I think it's part of community outreach that I want to see the department do, and I think it's going to go a long way. But in order to make everybody feel comfortable, then we'll just have the chief do a deeper presentation.
Can I just make a, are we allowed to comment?
No. Technically, no.
No? Okay.
Okay. All right, so we'll table it. We'll move on. Next thing is, Ron?
Yes, I have a resolution 14-0209. This is a stormwater drainage easement for the 159th Street project. This was one of the easements that wasn't procured early on for the 159th Street signalization, because the engineer who was doing the project was, back when he was designing the project, was also the engineer for the developer, and that's when he thought the developer was going forward. This is a line on the developer's property, so because the developer's not doing the project, the city is, and because this, also the stormwater drainage will not only drain the private property, it'll drain the road as well. So I'm asking that the mayor execute an easement. I have it here, the original executed by the developer. We can sign it tonight. Amy, I think in talking with Harry Gilmore, I think he's got approval of the design for the intersection. Was that, he was...
The streetlight equipment is, the cut sheet was in the IDOT for approval, and we got the approval.
So and I think he's issuing a notice to proceed on the developer, so we should be going forward with that project.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Alderman Turner, seconded by Alderman Deskin. All in favor?
I'm not going to ask for an executive session request because I don't have all the information yet. And then the last thing is just some housekeeping. Ordinance 14012. This is going to have the recognition at the front of the committee of the whole meeting like we did tonight. We're just going to make that part of the committee of the whole recognition phase. So I would ask that Ordinance 14012 be passed.
All right, we have a motion?
So moved, but I think it's 1402, isn't it?
No, mine says
Yeah,
14.
No, there's 14012 and 1402, so you're right, Kelly.
Typo?
I don't know which
I'll make that motion, whatever Ron says.
And I'll second that motion.
All right. Seconded by
As
Alderman...
corrected by the city clerk's office. Ordinance number.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry, it was Turner and Destin?
And Deskin.
Thank you.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Thanks, Ron. All right, Amy.
In September 2013, the city's engineering department requested surface transportation bridge funding for the repair or replacement of the 2nd Street Bridge over the I&M Canal. The latest inspection resulted in a sufficiency rating of 25, making it eligible for rehabilitation through federal STPB funding. This bridge provides the most direct access to the former Texaco refinery site, now being developed as a business park. The current weight limit is 9 tons, and this is causing a hardship for the ongoing environmental cleanup. Future economic development of the site will depend upon the maintenance of this route. Rehabilitation or replacement of the bridge will ensure that the area remains a viable option for future development opportunities. In October 2013, we were notified that we were to receive the requested funding for Phase 1 engineering. The funding for Phase 2 design and Phase 3 construction will be awarded contingent upon the availability of funding in the fiscal year requested. We did not have any issues with funding for the Division Street Bridge and expect none for full funding of this project. At the end of 2013, the City of Lockport requested proposals for the services of a professional engineering firm to develop a Phase 1 study. The firms selected to receive the RFQ were based upon firms that previously responded to the RFQ for the Division Street Bridge. However, we also posted the RFQ information to the city's website and received an outstanding response. We received 11 proposals, of which we chose 4 to further interview. Based upon previous experience with the similar type federal aid bridge projects. In January of 2014, we interviewed the following firms: Baxter & Woodman from Mokena, Illinois, Trans Systems from Schaumburg, Hampton, Lenzini & Renwick from Elgin, the Farnsworth Group from Shorewood. Of these, which we found to be equally qualified, we chose Baxter & Woodman to complete the Phase 1 based upon the interview, the fact that they had a realistic schedule, and the creativeness of their proposal to incorporate the historic design elements into the bridge design. The city would need to enter into an engineering services agreement with the state, pay for the engineering services after invoiced by the consultant, and request reimbursement by the state for the 80% federal share. The funding letter states that we are awarded 80% of the estimated Phase 1 engineering cost of $180,000. The proposal for Baxter and Woodman was for $179,901.65. The city's portion is $35,980.33. And this amount that the city share would be, it would also be reimbursable through the TIF district. My recommendation is that the city enter into the agreement with Baxter and Woodman for a cost of $179,901.65 with a $35,980.33 local match.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Okay, Alderman Turner, seconded by Alderman Smith. Have a roll call, please.
Yes.
Marinowski? Yes. Van Meer?
Yes.
Gaskin?
Yes.
Turner?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Academic?
Yes.
7 yeas, motion carried.
I'd also like to say thank you, Amy, for your work on this. I know it takes a lot of work to do that, so thank you.
I'm confused, Joe, are we supposed to talk about your branch stuff, or did I miss that?
We could, I mean, you wanted to put it on consent, I can come back with a proposal like you were looking for, or, I mean, I can address some of it now, if you'd like, how we got to where we're at.
We could address some of those photographs with the committee of the whole memo at the next meeting. We did have some prepared, but we really kind of talked through what we were going to present to you, so I don't know if it's really necessary at this juncture.
All right, that's fine.
I would like to say, I just want everybody to understand, the reason we got to the point, the policy that we do have in place, the people that don't put out the branches according to Waste Management's policy, the branches don't get picked up. The city actually doesn't go pick up branches anymore. So for me to go and pick them up, I need an avenue on how to do it. I don't care how we as a council or as public works, we're going to do what you direct us to do, and I'll come back with that proposal. But it's not like we don't want to do the work, but I need an avenue to get the work done.
Okay. Well, we clarified it now, so I don't know when to go and kind of do it. All right, very good. Any new business?
I'd just like to ask that if we could receive questions about the memo on the K-9 unit in writing, maybe to the chief and myself, copy myself, and I think there was a lot of questions there. Some of them we had answers for, some of them we would need to prepare for anyway, so just want to make sure that we are able to come back with a full presentation to you and answer all your questions.
Okay, I'm sure Denise will be happy to do that, so. All right. That's everything.
State of the City's coming up.
State of the City, yeah, April 16th, so we'll,
Broken Arrow.
Yep, keep it local, we'll do the Broken Arrow. Be exciting.
Are they serving lunch?
Yeah, we'll do lunch. Hard-boiled eggs. Still in the shell. All right, well, if there's nothing else, then I just ask, can adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Alderman Turner, seconded by Alderman Deskin, all in favor?
Aye.
God, this has got to be a record.
It is a record. 48 minutes.
And less than that, because we wait till 7:30.
Yeah, we had to wait till 7:30.